how cool would it be to be able to remap your own PS4 controller? That's something I've thought to myself quite often. So when the team at eXtremeRate reached out to me and asked if I wanted to make a video about their DIY remap kit for the PS4 controller, I said, sign me up. So this video is sponsored by eXtremeRate. Now when I heard about this DIY remap kit, naturally I had some questions. Is it gonna work? How hard is it gonna be to install? Today we're gonna be tackling those questions by installing it on this brand new blue camo PS4 controller. Now you do need the 2nd generation controller, so any of the new ones you buy in the store will be the 2nd generation with the light bar on the touch bar. The remap kit comes in a little box like this. Let's take it out and see what all is included. Okay, so first of all, we have our back case. Let's take a look at this. The problem that I see with a lot of these back plates is that they're not made very well. This actually looks, from what I can tell, it's made pretty well. We'll know when we snap it back on to the controller, but there's no extra pieces of plastic and stuff. I've seen a lot of the cheapo ones that got you got to clean it all up before you install it. This one, at least so far, looks pretty good. So we've also got this guy here and this guy here. And it looks like in this one are all of the internal components. Yeah, there we go. So this is the main board for this entire remap kit right here. These are the buttons. And then we've got this ribbon cable we'll need to install. Now, from my understanding, this ribbon cable, you don't actually have to do this part if you don't want to remap the touch bar. I do want to do that, so I will be installing this. I'll be soldering this on, so I'll show you guys how to do that. So we've got a pry tool, a little screwdriver. Yeah, and then we've got some extra buttons here along with some wires and some extra foam. Let's look at the instructions. Okay, here we go. We've got a lot of instructions here. The nice thing is it's very well illustrated. So we're gonna follow these step by step and see how hard this will be. Now it's ready for my favorite part. We need to disassemble this guy. Now I chose this wood grain back because I thought that would look pretty cool with the blue camo. So we'll get that all installed at the end. But right now, we need to get this one taken apart. I'm gonna use their screwdriver just to see how well it works for this. It does work. It's a little annoying because it's so tiny, but it definitely does work. All right, got him. And now we'll use the pry tool. So what I first do is grab right here, kind of loosen it up a little bit. Same with this. And then there's little clips along here that we'll need to disengage. So there you go. Now to show you, there's a clip right there, a clip right there, a clip over here, and those are the main clips. So we're just gonna pull this off. Just pull that ribbon cable off. And I will be installing these into this other back plate, but we won't do that yet. And then we need to take the battery out. I'm gonna use a nice sharp pair of needle nose pliers for this and grab on just the battery part of the connector, not the part of the connector that's on the motherboard. This will come out just like this, wiggling back and forth as I pull. So as you can see, this part goes into this connector. Don't pull on this connector down here. Then this screw comes out, and then this entire battery carrier comes out. And after that, we pull this ribbon cable off. Then we need to get this motherboard out. So we pull on this little tab right here, and this little locking tab right here, and that lets us pull it out. And there we go. Now this is the part of the motherboard that attaches to this ribbon cable for the touchpad. So in order to remap the touchpad, we need to also connect this ribbon cable that came in the kit. And what we're going to be doing is lining it up here, soldering this little pad over here to this leg on this button right here, making sure the holes line up, and then we'll be done with that part. Now they do say you can use a little piece of double-sided tape right down here if you need to, so we may do that just depending on how it goes. I did put a little piece of tape down here just to make sure I could keep it all lined up easily, and I do have it soldered to this leg of this button right here. So it's installed there nicely. Now we can flip it over and install it back into the controller, and then we'll connect this up to this board. You want to make sure the black locking tab is up. And once you're sure of that, you can slide this ribbon cable in like this, clamp the locking tab down, and it is now installed. And we can flip this all over like this, and make sure this ribbon cable is out of the way. And there we go. With these cables and ribbon cable all routed out of the way, we can put the battery holder back in. Make sure this ribbon cable is fully connected as well. There we go. And we should have something that looks a little bit like this. Now with that all done, we need to work on our back case swap. Okay, that actually all fits in there pretty well. I think that's gonna actually work pretty well so far. So far, so good on this back case. Now, before we install these switches into the back case, we need to cut off all the extra legs. Now for installing these switches, the red one goes here, this copper one goes down here, blue one goes up here, green one goes down here. And after those are installed, we need to install these little covers over them. Now we do have the screws that we need for that included in this kit, and the instructions show which one goes where. And then we should have something that looks like that. Okay, that looks really good. That is actually pretty easy. They've got the diagram right on the instructions, so you just line them up how they show in the instructions, and it's not too difficult. So next we need to install this touch tin foil. And it needs to go right about there. We need to make sure the LED hole is gonna line up with the hole on the back shell. So that's gonna go approximately right there. So then the foil is gonna need to go about right in, right up here. So now we've got our tin foil here, the LED light lined up with the hole, at least hopefully. We'll find out in a minute. Now we need to install the battery, put this cable connection back and make sure this all fits in here without causing any problems with all the cabling. Okay, let's look at the fit. It looks pretty good. There is more of a gap along here than the original controller. Maybe along there, a little bit more of a gap there. This looks pretty good. A little bit more of a gap there. And here it looks pretty good. So it actually looks not too bad. What do you guys think of the camo blue with the wood grain? I think it looks pretty cool. And you can see it does work still. So that's good news. Now let's install the rest of these buttons, the remap buttons, and then we'll give it a try and see if it works. So our K1 button goes right here. K1, and then K2 goes here. Okay, K3 goes here. And K4 goes right here. Okay. Oh, it looks cool. Feels good. Okay, so I guess the only other thing left is let's see if it works. And so far the controller is working normally. Okay, everything looks fine. One thing I have to say is you may have to loosen the screws a bit. I had my screws in so tight that it was causing a problem with the ribbon cable connection, so I loosened them a little bit and everything is working normally now. So let's try the remap button functions. Okay, now we have a blue light here. So that says it's entering the remap mode. To enter the remap mode, we need to press the down button, the X button, and L1, R1 all at the same time for 5 seconds. That's how I got to the blue light. So let's remap K1 to the X button. So we're gonna hold X and K1. And it blinked 3 times, letting us know that K1 is now mapped to X. Now we need to exit the remap mode, and then we can use K1 as the X button. To exit remap mode, we do the same thing as before, R1, L1, and down and X. So I'll show it to you upside down. Now remap mode is turned off. Now we should be able to use the K1 button as our X button. Okay, so we'll press K1 for this. And there we go. So here we go, K1. And there we go. So that is how you remap the buttons. I'll be giving away the other 3 kits that eXtremeRate sent to me. So if you would like one of those, leave your Instagram handle in the comment section below along with a comment about the video, and I'll reach out to several of you and send you the kits for free. Thank you again to eXtremeRate for supporting this channel by sponsoring this video. If you'd like to purchase one of these remap kits for your PS4 controller for yourself, the Amazon links are right down in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.